Morning, good morning. Hey, how are you doing? It is Coffee Talk. I'm so glad to see you again. It's been a couple of days. I usually don't take days away from each other, but we did this week, and I hope you're okay with it. I hope you're good with it. I hope you had a great week. At least weather-wise, we're having a great start to our weekend. Rise and shine, my friends. Here are the top two things that we are tracking. First and foremost, I do want to let you know there are actually some major issues at Orlando International Airport. Thankfully not weather related, but it's worth noting because if you're heading out that way, I do want to make sure that you are prepared for it. We, of course, are going to be chatting about that. We are also going to be looking ahead at your weekend forecast. There's a lot to talk about in our weekend forecast, from the tropics to our local rain chances. And yes, we will, of course, have you covered looking at all the latest model data. And there's plenty, of course, to look at. But before we get into any of that, let's just start off with a live look outside. Here's a shot in downtown Orlando. We are looking beautiful. I just showed this on TV just a couple of moments ago. Let's look at another vantage point. There's Lake Killarney over to the Kennedy Space Center. Can't ask for much more. Melbourne is great. This is our Coco camera. It's a very busy morning over at Port Canaveral. We reported all 6 cruise ships that call Port Canaveral home are rolling through this weekend. And I actually have a friend who's going on a cruise. And so to all of y'all going on cruises, all I could say is, maybe you could have brought your favorite weather guy. Maybe. Rose, good morning. Why aren't you on YouTube? I think I am. I got an email notification just a moment ago saying that, let me just check. Yeah. I'm now live on YouTube. I got the email confirmation. I don't know. Good morning to you, though, Rose. Marie, good morning to you. Kelly, good morning. Glad to see you, Joanne. Glad you're feeling better. Yeah, whatever little bug Eric had, I caught. So it gave me an opportunity to just turn her off for a couple. You know, so I do appreciate all of your concern, and thank you very much. Taylor says, I'd be okay being packed in someone's suitcase for a cruise, right? Just throw me in there. Man, he's on YouTube, but chat is not enabled. How do I enable the chat? I don't know why that's the case. I've never turned it off. I'm logging into YouTube. Oh, wow. There it is. I'm logging into YouTube. Oh, wow. There it is. Okay, YouTube is like YouTube is like 5 seconds delayed. I feel like Facebook is like 20 seconds delayed. At any rate, I see it there. I do apologize. See Christina there commented on YouTube. Okay, all right, anyway. So where are we at? Temperatures out the door into the 80s for most spots. Here's a live look at our first warning Doppler radar. The only showers we're watching out there are off in the Gulf Coast, and that's where, at least for now, they're hanging out. So what do we do from here? Well, we get stormy by the afternoon. Today is going to be just as hot as as our last forecast was yesterday, but we're going to add storms in a little bit later. Yeah, like 50% coverage of rain. Yesterday was like a 30% coverage of rain. All right. Yeah. Has to rain. My truck is getting detailed. Oh, there you go, Ryan. Wouldn't that be funny? Well, at least we do have some showers and some thunder showers in the forecast. All right, so that's kind of a brief look at our forecast. But let's get a little more in depth. Give me 2 seconds. Let me load up I just got a brand new run of Futurecast. All right, perfect. So here's Futurecast, and I'll bring it full screen. Frank, my brother, says had to do the drive twice this week without information. I apologize, buddy. I'm just grateful that you hang with me. All right. So here's a look at Futurecast, and this morning we're looking good. Let's keep it through 9, 10, 11, 12. We're doing great. I like it. Continue. Carolyn says, rain is the only way my car gets detailed. I get that. Rose says, Rockledge needs rain. It's been over a week. Well, watch what happens today. 1 p.m., Futurecast, starting with that West Coast sea breeze. Notice 2 o'clock. First off, let's just pause this. That's a pretty decent little popcorn shower storm setup, right? Also notice Rockledge, Brevard County. While Rockledge proper may not be getting rain in this moment, we do see a few showers, 3, 4 o'clock in the vicinity. I'm hopeful for you. 4 p.m., fairly widespread showers and thunder showers. Not everybody's getting rain, right? But there is some around 5 p.m., 6 p.m., showers and storms continuing into the metro, 7, 8 o'clock, continuing through the metro, right? And then at this point, we're going to start to taper the rains off little by little. There's 9 o'clock. That's the end of it. Taylor says, ooh, Daytona might finally get something. That would be nice. I think all of us would like it, especially when we see these temperatures. It is going to be hot across Central Florida. Absolutely going to be hot across Central Florida. 93 to 95 degrees through the metro. Ryan says, no barbecue tonight. Why not? Do your barbecue. It's just going to be hot. We can handle that. Oh my goodness, Jeannie just sent me a picture with memories. Oh, I love it. Morning from Palatka. Dottie, good morning to you. Rose, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Taylor says Daytona is in such deficit. I'm scared of fires. Well, let's just take a look. Before we talk much about that, let's just pull up the numbers, okay? Here are the rainfall numbers across Central Florida. All right. Notice all of us are in a deficit. But yes, Daytona is in the biggest deficit. Daytona nearly 8 inches behind. And I mean, yeah, I would agree. You are definitely in a bit of a rainfall deficit. Meanwhile, isn't it so feast or famine, right? Like Leesburg, nearly 8 inches ahead. Isn't that interesting how that works? Need to get grass done early already. 83 and the dew point is 78. Yeah, Joanne, the dew points are disgusting. Like disgusting. Where are we at? Dew point, stand by. Dew point is at 77 in Orlando. So the muggy meter, stand by. So the muggy meter, with a dew point temperature of 77, the muggy meter is steamy. I mean, I would say that we're almost in miserable, right? Yeah. Taylor says it best though. Florida gonna Florida. Devs are gonna dev. Yvette says, the other night we had a very ominous cluster of clouds. Sky turned yellow with one of the clouds was red. I've not seen that before. Can you explain? All I could say is just the way that the sun was shining through just gave you kind of an interesting sight. Yeah. That's the only thing I could think of. You know? Florida gonna Florida in every way, shape, or form. Which, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's the way it goes, right? Now, when we look at the weekend as a whole, let's talk about it, okay? Today is going to be the green checkmark day. It's forecast just a little bit drier. Today's forecast, 50% coverage of rain. Tomorrow's forecast, a 60% coverage of rain, all right? So today is going to be just a little bit better to get outside and enjoy. So if you're wanting to get into the pool, we're looking great. 95 degrees will be your high temperature though today. Then those showers and thunder showers get going. Outdoor baby shower might get rained out here this afternoon. Will the rain stay long? If you're in the interior, if you're in the metro, I think that the rain will stay for a while. Along the coastline though, I think things will be looking a little bit better. We had the most gorgeous sunset in Ocala a couple of nights ago, very purple and orange. I love it. And there's a lot of Saharan dust that's in the vicinity, so that certainly helps, right? If you're heading to the beaches today, you're not immune from the heat or the showers and the thunder showers. For you, high temperature gets to about 92, 93, depending on your exact spot. Rip current risk running moderate today. Water temperatures in the mid-80s and surf running 1 to 2. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. All right, to the tropics, and I did an update here at 6 o'clock this morning, but it's okay. Let's do some more. A couple of little open waves that we're tracking out there. Nothing too significantly put together. I do want to talk about a couple of things, and I mentioned this morning a little bit ago. For the year, okay, for the year, we have had 3 named storms. Of course, Alex developed and quickly moved away from us. All right, so there's that. It developed as it was moving away from us. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing, Bonnie developed and quickly faded. Colin developed and quickly faded. And what's kind of interesting is if you look at how long these storms were named storms, there are some interesting statistics to be had. Alex was a named storm for a day and a half. Bonnie was a named storm for 1 day. Colin was a named storm for less than a day, okay? These are not big systems, nor do we usually get big systems, okay? But when we talk about tropical systems, I don't want you to just gauge our season based on named storms, because that's only one metric, okay? Through today's date, we have had 3 named storms this year. 30-year average says we should at this point have about 1.7. So we're running a little ahead of that. We're running behind last year. But there's more to this. Remember, I have a cup somewhere. It says you can get what you want if you torture the data hard enough. And it's kind of a true statement, right? But I want to point out the way that Colorado State University issues their forecasts, and I spoke to Phil Klotzbach in detail about this, but I also got this information from Phil. He and we emailed each other even just this morning, and I'm grateful that Phil is such a wonderful guy. Of course, we've had Phil on Coffee Talk. Phil issues his forecasts using analogs and other things, but he does so primarily on ACE. ACE is a metric you've not heard much of, okay? ACE is referring to accumulated cyclonic energy. In other words, the size of the storm, the strength of the storm, how long is it out there, the overall cyclonic energy, okay? Thus far this year, we have generated 2.8 ACE points. Through today, the 30-year average generates 3.9 ACE points. And last year, through today, we generated 13.2 ACE points. So this year is actually behind the 30-year average and way behind where we were this time last year. Okay, so there's a lot of data there, and I know that I'm getting into weather nerd weeds, but I wanted to point it out because while, yes, we're running a little ahead in terms of named storms, we're running a little behind in terms of energy, okay? It's very early in the season. If you just look at the months, okay, if you just look during the month of June, tropical systems are likely-ish to form around home. All right, that's June. For July, we start widening the scope. August, things are getting very busy. September, the busiest, that's the peak. October, things start to quiet down a little bit, and then November, things start to quiet down a little bit. So if you look at hurricane season, as a whole, here we are, early-ish July, you know, today's July 9th, so there we are. We're definitely still well below the peak of hurricane season. So don't think for a minute that we're done. Don't think for a minute that we've done much. But again, just love sharing nerd stats. And Phil was nice enough to share with me his data set, which, again, I can say nothing but thank you to Phil. And I truly am grateful that he's joined us on Coffee Talk, and I hope that he will join us again on Coffee Talk. And I told him I owe him Starbucks for the data set, because that is going to help me dramatically through the year. It's all the data I could have ever wanted. I don't know how he got it, but I'm grateful. Aaron says, happens every year. By the end of July, people will say that the season is canceled. Too early to let your guard down. By mid-August, it can be like a flip of a switch. And I think that this graphic tells it. I really do. This graphic tells you that like late July into August, that's like when the season really gets going. And really and truly, it's like August through October. It's just go time. That's when things are just wild. So we are still very much in the quiet kind of uptick in hurricane season. I'm not excited about this. I want to be clear. I am not excited about any tropical activity, but I like to share with you data and share with you information and metrics and keep you up to date. So, yeah. Jennifer's asking, are we still watching Florida in the next 2 weeks from the LRC? Yeah, let's take a look. Rose says, I'm okay with no hurricanes this month. Oh, I would agree with that. So let's take a look. We know that there's nothing out there now. But let's take a look. This is the brand new 6Z run of the GFS. And I've got it, fairly close to home, which is cool. That's where, we are going to be watching. Let's look and see here. All right. I'll bring it full screen for you. Top right corner shows you the timestamp. All right. This is kind of showing you where we're at on Monday. Let's just go to Monday, 8 a.m. We know, hold on, all right. So Monday, we know that there's going to be an old frontal boundary that's kind of setting up in shop and is going to kind of pull moisture away from us and then kind of start to filter it back down. So we are going to be watching that around Monday. Doesn't look like anything's wanting to develop tropically there. Wednesday, Thursday. Sea of high pressure moving in. Love that. 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. That's Tuesday, 20, 21, 22. Still nice and quiet. That's through the 25th. The GFS is quiet. Let's run over to the European. Let's check it out. There's that lowering pressure from that frontal boundary near us, not trying to develop anything tropical. Although, these kinds of scenarios, I would add, sometimes do like to form a little something. So definitely something that we'll be watching, but, nothing too concerning. All right, continuing on through, European. Looking good, looking good. Let's go out further on the European. Oh, the control is what I want. European looking good, 21st, 22nd. Now, I will point out that the models are not really showing anything around the 23rd or the 24th or any of that. But if you look on our LRC, I do have the 20th, 21st watching Florida. That's the repeat of the Florester. But, I would point out that the models aren't really showing, at least not the operational. So let's look in here at the GFS. Give me a second to get it dialed up for you. But, let's look and see if any of the models are showing anything. 14th, 15th. It doesn't look like it. Again, I'm not like cheering this thing on or anything. 18th, 19th, 20, 21. Yeah, not really showing much. So, look, if it doesn't want to do it, that's super okay with me. That's the GFS. Let's switch over to the European. I'll just back it up. Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see anything. So that's the part. Remember, the LRC picks on the part of the weather pattern that would favor something. 20th, 21st. If it doesn't want to happen because of the Saharan dust, that's perfect. There's going to be an impulse of energy. Whether or not it develops into anything, we'll see. But, like I said, I'm okay with no development. Rose, I'm okay with no hurricanes this month. Agreed. Frank says we live in Florida, so we always watch Florida. Agreed. Matt points out Andrew, the first named storm. It's true. It's true. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. That's right. Quiet for July. I would like it. Courtney, what about the BSR? So the BSR did show a little something. Let's see here. Give me a second to dial this up. All right. So BSR, and it would be around, what did I say, like the 20th? So let me just time this out. 20th. So if it's, should be like July 3rd, July 4th. This is July 2nd, July 3rd, July. Yeah, it's a little piece of energy near Texas, but it's not really showing any clear-cut anything. So, yeah, the BSR is not really showing much. Yeah, I'm just kind of scrolling through here. Now that's an interesting little feature there. A little low in Texas, that would be valid. Let me just get the dates here. Around the end of the month. Interesting. Well, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Maybe the end of the month, watching a little something around Texas. I don't know. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. You know, as long as we know and as long as we can track and all of that fun stuff, you know. But yeah, for now, the Florista doesn't show up dramatically on the BSR either, Courtney, to answer your question. Jenny says T-minus 7 days. Looking good, Caribbean. Let's hope that continues, right? Absolutely. Jenny says it's okay by me if it doesn't develop anything. You'll see a little piece of energy. Whether or not you'll see anything getting going, that's up to Mother Nature. Ann says, so glad you're back and feeling better. Us coffee talkers missed you. Thank you. I missed you too. But you know what? Whatever Eric had, we had him tested for strep and COVID and flu, and it was negative. It got me, and you know, I was not testing any negatively either. So we were all just relaxing and kind of taking it easy. Just wanted to feel better. Jennifer says, I love weather. I think we all do in here. Debbie, I went to Disney Springs and Epcot yesterday. Hot, hot, hot. Epcot not as bad as I thought it would be. Good. Nothing wrong with that. Tim, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for hanging with us. Beverly says, maybe you can enjoy your conference. I would like that. For all of us, these next couple of days, let's just enjoy our weather, right? Yeah, wouldn't that be nice if I got to go? And by the way, if I can, I'm going to be trying to pop up Facebook Lives and sharing information from the conference. Yeah, absolutely. Jamie says, glad you rested and stepped away from Coffee Talk. I can tell you, even with a nasty tummy, if there was actually like threats going on, I would have let you know. I promise you that, even if I wasn't feeling well. But it was quiet enough. I was trying to just take it easy. We'll watch the late August and September cycles. That's the thing, right? Yeah, so while this cycle may be quiet. How much time? 90 seconds. 90, ay vey. We're moving to South Carolina. Need suggestions on who to follow up. My buddy Chris Justice at WYFF, your friend for WYFF. Watch him. Patty, when is the Florista due to recycle again? So if it's, so it'll be September, like mid-September. When would it be the Florista? Yeah, the 21st, 22nd. Yep, 21st, 22nd. All right, I guess I have to go do TV now. Listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Glad to be hanging with you for Coffee Talk again. My apologies for a couple of days off, tummy ache, and then I just decided to lay low, take it easy. We all need a recharge every now and then, right? I did see your Skyline chili tweet coming to Orlando. Everybody liked it except Jacqueline D'Agostino. Oh, well. Her loss. Be good, y'all. See you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock for Coffee Talk and in a couple of minutes.